Hello, my name is Julio Rodela, and I'm going to be going over problem number 3 from section 15.1, and this is for your week 3 assignments. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve the systems of equations by graphing. Okay, so in this problem, they give you two equations that you have to solve and graph. All right, it's pretty simple. So the first step that we have to do is we have to find the x and y intercept for both equations, and then once we get those intercepts, then we're going to graph them. Okay, so for the first equation, this one right here, is x minus y equals -1. So to find the intercept, we're going to start with x. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug 0 in for y, and that's going to cancel that out. And it's going to leave you with just x equals -1. So your x-intercept is going to be -1 and 0, which was I plugged in for y. Okay. Then to find the y-intercept, I plugged in 0 for x, and that left me a -y equals -1. Well, the y or the x cannot be a negative at all. So what I did was I took that negative sign, I moved it over to -1, it canceled each other out, and that left me with a +1. So my y-intercept is 0, +1. So I'm going to take those 2 points, those 2 intercepts, I'm going to graph it here in a little bit. But first I have to go to the second equation and find the x and y intercept, just like I did with the first equation. So the second equation is x plus y equals 3. Same thing again. First I'm going to start off with the x-intercept. I'm going to plug in 0 for y, and that's going to leave me with x equals 3. So my x-intercept is 3, 0. And then for the y-intercept, I plugged in 0 for x, and that left me with 3. Y equals 3. The point is 0, 3 for my y-intercept. So that was the easy part. So now what we have to do is we have to graph them. So here's my graph. I know it's ad hoc and sketchy, but as you can see, my parameters is I went by the increment of 10. So now what I did was I graphed the first equation, and it's this line right here. So my points was -1 and 0. That was my first point for the x-intercept. So you can see it's right here. I went -1 and then 0. That was my point I used that I found with the equation. The next point was 0, 1. So we got 0 and then I went up 1. Okay, so now I have my 2 points. I drew a line, and as you can see, the first equation graphed was line number 1. For line number 2, my 2 points were 3, 0 for the x-intercept, and then 0, 3 for the y-intercept. Okay, so 3, 0, I went over 3 and 0. So that's my first point. My second point was 0, 3. +3. So I moved up. So then I have my 2 points. I drew a line. So now I had successfully graphed the 2 equations. So now the question asked is the solution set of the system of equations is what? So to find that is you have to find the point of where the 2 lines from the 2 different equations graphed meet. Okay, so the point is right there. But what is the actual point? And that point is +1 and 2. So it's a 2-part answer. First you have to graph it, and then you have to find out where the solution set of the system of equations meets. And as you can see, it was a +1 and 2. Alright, that concludes this demonstration. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.